In a quaint town nestled between rolling hills, there lived a veteran named James Hartman. At 63 years old, his life was a tapestry woven with threads of valor and sacrifice. James had served his country with honor during a tumultuous period, navigating the complexities of conflict in far-off lands. His experiences shaped not only his character but also instilled in him a profound sense of duty and pride. Though he had returned home, the echoes of gunfire haunted him, manifesting as memories that lingered in the shadows of his mind. The scars he bore were not just physical, they were deeply etched into his spirit. Over the years, James grappled with various health issues, debilitating arthritis that limited his mobility, bouts of anxiety that crept in uninvited, and an undiagnosed condition that left him feeling perpetually fatigued. Despite these challenges, James wore resilience like armor. He spent much of his time volunteering at the local Veterans Association, sharing stories and offering support to those navigating their own battles. His laughter was infectious, bringing warmth to the hearts of fellow veterans who often felt forgotten. Yet behind the brave facade lay a man who was struggling to reclaim his health while holding on to the memories that defined him. The significance of his service extended beyond personal pride. It resonated within the community that honored him. In town gatherings, he was often celebrated as a hero, a living testament to courage and dedication. However, even heroes need help from time to time. As James faced increasing health issues that threatened to rob him of his autonomy, he realized he could no longer manage alone. His journey took an unexpected turn when he found himself at the doorsteps of Dr. Emily Carter, a compassionate physician known for her unwavering commitment to her patients. Little did he know that this visit would become a pivotal moment in both their lives, a connection that would blossom through shared struggles and triumphs over adversity. As James prepared to embark on this new chapter towards recovery, he remained hopeful that perhaps this time, help would be more than just a distant memory. It might be the lifeline he so desperately needed. As the days passed, James Hartman found himself increasingly overwhelmed by a sense of impending doom that seemed to hang in the air like a thick fog. The chronic pain from his arthritis had escalated to an unbearable level, making even simple tasks feel Herculean. It wasn't just physical discomfort, the fatigue settled deep within him, wrapping around his spirit like a suffocating blanket. He often felt as if he was moving through molasses, every step weighed down by invisible chains. One chilly evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and shadows elongated across his small living room, James experienced what would become a pivotal moment in his life. While trying to reach for a glass of water, a sudden wave of dizziness washed over him. The room spun wildly and he stumbled, narrowly avoiding a fall that could have ended badly. As he leaned against the oak table for support, panic surged through him. His heart raced uncontrollably, each beat echoing his growing fear of losing his grip on life. Concerned about what had just transpired, James swallowed hard. He could no longer dismiss these alarming signs as mere side effects of aging or an overactive imagination. The walls that had protected him from vulnerability began to crumble as clarity struck. This was more than just fatigue or discomfort, it was a crisis demanding immediate attention. With every ounce of determination left in him, James reached for his phone and dialed Dr. Emily Carter's office. His voice trembled with uncertainty as he explained his symptoms, each word heavy with desperation. Dr. Carter listened intently. Her calm demeanor provided a brief respite from the storm raging inside him. "Come in first thing tomorrow," she instructed, her voice soothing yet firm. "We'll figure this out." As James hung up the phone, a mix of hope and fear flooded over him. He realized this visit was not just a routine checkup, it represented a crucial turning point, a chance to confront the demons that had plagued him for far too long. He understood now that accepting help was not a sign of weakness but rather an act of courage that could lead to healing. With that thought in mind, he prepared himself for what lay ahead, whispering silent prayers for strength and clarity on this uncertain journey toward wellness. Dr. Emily Carter was a beacon of hope in the medical community, known for her expertise and unwavering dedication to her patients. A graduate of a prestigious medical school, she had spent years honing her skills in internal medicine with a particular focus on geriatrics. Her journey into medicine was inspired by a childhood filled with stories from her grandfather, a World War II veteran who instilled in her a deep respect for those who served their country. This connection fueled her passion for helping veterans like James Hartman, who often carried burdens both seen and unseen. Upon entering Dr. Carter's office, James felt an immediate sense of calm. The walls were adorned with certificates showcasing her achievements and accolades, but it was the warm, inviting atmosphere that truly set her practice apart. Soft lighting and carefully chosen artwork created a space where patients could feel at ease, even when facing their most daunting health challenges. As she greeted him with a genuine smile, her eyes sparkled with empathy and understanding. Dr. Carter took the time to listen attentively as James shared his symptoms and concerns. She asked probing questions not merely to gather information but to genuinely understand the impact his service and subsequent health struggles had on his life. This thorough approach made it clear to James that he was not just another patient, he was a person with a story deserving of compassion and care. Throughout the examination, Dr. Carter exhibited an impressive blend of professionalism and warmth. She explained each step of the process, ensuring that James was comfortable and aware of what to expect. As she reviewed his medical history and conducted tests, she maintained eye contact, reinforcing the trust building between them. In that moment, James felt seen, not just as a veteran plagued by issues but as a man seeking healing after years of silent suffering. After gathering the necessary information, Dr. Carter crafted a personalized treatment plan tailored to James's unique needs. She emphasized the importance of addressing both the physical and emotional aspects of his health, assuring him that healing would be a collaborative effort. As they discussed next steps, James felt a surge of hope. He was no longer facing this battle alone. With Dr. Carter by his side, he began to believe that recovery was not just possible but within reach. In the days following his initial consultation, James Hartman felt a mix of anticipation and trepidation as he prepared for his follow-up appointment with Dr. Emily Carter. The treatment plan she had devised involved a series of tests and an assessment of his overall health aimed at uncovering the root causes of his troubling symptoms. When he arrived at her office, he was greeted warmly, but behind Dr. Carter's comforting smile lay the seriousness of the situation. After reviewing test results, Dr. Carter's expression shifted to one of focused concern. "James, your blood work shows signs of significant anemia," she explained, her voice steady yet urgent. "Combined with your symptoms, it suggests there may be an underlying issue that we need to address immediately." She suspected a possible internal bleeding source, which could be life-threatening if left untreated. Without hesitation, Dr. Carter outlined a plan for action. She would refer him to a specialist for further evaluation and arrange for him to undergo an endoscopy, a procedure that would allow them to visualize any potential bleeding sites in his gastrointestinal tract. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, she emphasized the importance of acting swiftly. "James, I know this sounds daunting," she reassured him, her eyes filled with empathy. "But we're going to tackle this together. It's crucial that we take these steps to ensure your safety." Feeling both nervous and grateful for her unwavering support, James agreed to proceed. The following days were filled with a whirlwind of medical appointments, each one steeped in uncertainty. Yet throughout it all, Dr. Carter maintained open lines of communication. She checked in regularly, providing updates and answering questions that eased his mind. When the time came for the endoscopy, Dr. Carter was present in the procedure room, offering reassurance as they prepped him for what lay ahead. Her presence alone brought him comfort in a vulnerable moment. The procedure revealed a small ulcer that was indeed the source of his bleeding, an issue that could have escalated into a life-threatening scenario had it gone undetected much longer. After successful treatment and careful monitoring, James began to heal physically and emotionally as well. The intervention not only saved his life but also deepened the bond between him and Dr. Carter. He found himself filled with gratitude for her expertise and compassion during a critical time in his life. It was a testament to how dedicated care could transform despair into hope, setting him on the path toward recovery he had so desperately sought. As the days turned into weeks following his procedure, James Hartman gradually began to reclaim his sense of self. The physical recovery from the ulcer was undoubtedly challenging, filled with moments of discomfort as his body adjusted to the treatment. Yet, amid these hurdles, he found himself embracing a newfound appreciation for life and the pivotal role Dr. Emily Carter had played in his journey. In those early days post-recovery, there were times when doubt would creep in, a whisper questioning whether he could truly bounce back from this health scare. However, with each passing day, he felt stronger and more determined. The brightness of the sun seemed more radiant, and even the simplest activities, like taking a walk in the park or enjoying a cup of coffee on his porch, brought him joy he hadn't experienced in years. James frequently reflected on his experience with Dr. Carter. Her steady demeanor had been an anchor during a stormy time, and her continuous support fueled not only his physical healing but also nurtured his emotional well-being. He often thought back to how she took the time to explain each step of the process, instilling confidence where fear had once taken root. As he approached the final stages of his recovery, James felt an overwhelming need to express his gratitude for her life-saving intervention. Inspired by a desire to honor not just Dr. Carter's role in his health journey but also her commitment to helping veterans, he decided to organize a small gathering with fellow veterans at the local community center. The idea was simple: to celebrate the strength of their shared experiences and recognize those who had like-minded missions of compassion. On the day of the gathering, James made a heartfelt speech that resonated within the walls of that small center. He spoke eloquently about how important it was for them to find support and seek help when needed, just as he had learned through his journey with Dr. Carter. It takes courage, he emphasized, not just to have served our country but also to seek help when we are struggling. In attendance that day was Dr. Carter herself, who arrived with a warm smile and humble grace that left James feeling grateful yet slightly anxious to share such personal sentiments before her. When he formally recognized her contributions not just as a doctor but as a lifeline, tears glimmered in her eyes, evident that she understood just how profound an impact she had made on James's life. Their mutual respect blossomed into friendship, seen during follow-up appointments where laughter echoed through her office, a sign that healing extended beyond physical ailments into emotional bonds forged through shared understanding and care. For James Hartman, embarking on this path toward recovery not only meant overcoming challenges, it also meant fostering connections that would last well beyond any examination room or treatment plan. 1 week after the heartfelt gathering honoring Dr. Emily Carter, James Hartman found himself brimming with gratitude and determination to show his appreciation in a way that transcended mere words. While he had already conveyed his thanks in an emotional speech, he felt compelled to do something more significant, a gesture that would reflect both his respect and admiration for the doctor who had saved his life. He considered several options but ultimately decided on a surprise that would truly capture the essence of his appreciation. With the help of some fellow veterans who shared in this mission of gratitude, James orchestrated a plan to gift her 2 luxury cars, an act meant not just as an acknowledgement of her exceptional care but also as a celebration of togetherness and spirit. On a Saturday afternoon, as Dr. Carter was wrapping up her day at the clinic, she received an unexpected call. "Dr. Carter, you might want to step outside," the receptionist said, barely able to contain her excitement. Confused but intrigued, Dr. Carter made her way through the front door, not knowing what awaited her. As she stepped outside, her breath caught in her throat at the sight before her. 2 pristine luxury cars glimmering under the afternoon sun were parked right in front of her office. The vibrant colors reflected off the polished surfaces, creating an aura that seemed almost surreal. She squinted against the light, and then she recognized 2 familiar faces emerging from one of the vehicles, James Hartman and another veteran from their community gathering. Surprise! They cheered in unison as they approached her with broad smiles plastered on their faces. Dr. Carter's heart swelled with a mix of disbelief and overwhelming joy. "What? Why?" she stammered, taken aback by such an extravagant gesture. James stepped forward, his voice steady yet filled with emotion. "You saved my life, Doc," he said earnestly. "We wanted you to know how much your dedication means to us, and this is just a small token of our appreciation." Tears welled in Dr. Carter's eyes as she processed their heartfelt intentions. It was clear that this gift was more than just about cars. It symbolized the deep connection forged through shared experiences and challenges and dedication to serving others. As she accepted the keys with trembling hands, emotions bubbled over. She was reminded again of why she chose this profession: to make a difference in people's lives and help them find hope even in their darkest moments. As laughter echoed around them amidst falling sunlight, it marked not just a surprising moment but rather another step in building a lasting friendship rooted in camaraderie and respect within their veteran community, a bond never forgotten. The luxury cars presented to Dr. Emily Carter by James Hartman were undeniably striking, their polished exteriors gleaming under the sunlight. However, these vehicles represented far more than mere material wealth. They embodied a profound message of gratitude, respect, and the unbreakable bonds formed through shared experiences. To many, a luxury car might symbolize status or success. Yet for James and his fellow veterans, the gesture was rooted in a deeper understanding of sacrifice and companionship. Each vehicle was carefully chosen not just for its beauty but as a testament to their appreciation for Dr. Carter's unwavering dedication to their well-being. In a world where many veterans often feel marginalized or forgotten, this gift served as a reminder that their struggles did not go unnoticed and that the relationships built during times of hardship held immense value. As Dr. Carter gazed at the cars, she felt a rush of emotions, gratitude mixed with humility. The thoughtful nature of the gift illustrated her impact on James's life and those of others who had fought alongside him. It reminded her that her efforts in the clinic extended beyond treating ailments. They were about healing souls. Each car was not simply an object but an emblem representing hope, resilience, and the spirit of those who had served in silence. In presenting the cars, James made a statement that echoed through the hearts of all veterans. True wealth lies in the connections we foster with one another and in recognizing the sacrifices made for others' well-being. The unexpected surprise became a symbol not only of appreciation but also of camaraderie, a tangible reminder that they are not alone in their journeys. Moreover, this act underscored an essential truth about gratitude: it cannot always be quantified in words alone. Sometimes it manifests in grand gestures that reflect deep emotional ties and mutual respect. For James, this was his way of honoring Dr. Carter's relentless efforts to save lives and nurture souls within their community. As they stood together before the luxurious vehicles, surrounded by friends and fellow veterans, laughter rang through the air like music. A melody of healing that signified recovery was not solely about overcoming physical challenges but also about embracing community support and fostering connections that would last a lifetime. The gift ultimately represented a shared journey toward hope, affirming once again that even in life's darkest moments, light could be found through compassion and friendship. The local community reacted with a wave of admiration and pride in the aftermath of James Hartman's generous gift to Dr. Emily Carter. News of the luxury cars spread quickly, igniting conversations in coffee shops, barber shops, and community centers throughout the town. Residents marveled at the story, recognizing it as a heartfelt testament not only to Dr. Carter's skill and compassion but also to the spirit of gratitude that defined their community. Social media buzzed with posts celebrating the love and respect shown between a veteran and his healer. People began sharing their own stories of encounters with Dr. Carter and how she had made a difference in their lives or the lives of their loved ones. Many expressed admiration for her unwavering dedication to her patients, emphasizing how she had created a sanctuary of healing within her clinic where veterans felt understood and valued. The local newspaper picked up the story, featuring photos of Dr. Carter standing beside the luxury cars, beaming with joy and humility as she was presented with this extraordinary gift. The accompanying article detailed James's journey, a narrative that resonated deeply with many, reminding them of the trials faced by veterans returning home after service and the critical support provided by compassionate professionals like Dr. Carter. Community gatherings transformed into celebrations of connection where individuals praised both James's noble gesture and Dr. Carter's unwavering commitment. A town hall meeting was organized to further honor them both, allowing citizens to express their gratitude publicly while showcasing how acts of kindness could uplift an entire community. Local organizations sought ways to promote collaboration between healthcare providers and veterans services more actively, inspired by James's tribute that demonstrated how crucial it is to acknowledge those who sacrifice so much for others. Spearheaded by veterans who admired James's intuition for giving back, discussions focused on improving mental health resources for those who served, proving that James's act had sparked something much larger. Dr. Carter herself was at once humbled and energized by the outpouring of love from her patients and neighbors alike. It deepened her resolve to continue serving her community with even greater passion and dedication. In every glance shared across town squares or whispered conversation in dining rooms, there was palpable hope, a reminder that meaningful connections could transform lives in inspiring ways. Through all the admiration emanating within the community, what stood out most was the simple truth: kindness is contagious, inspiring others to give back in their unique ways, an unbreakable chain linked by shared experiences, gratitude, and respect. Together they celebrated life's moments big and small, knowing they were forever bonded through compassion's power. Reflecting on the journey that had brought them together, both Dr. Emily Carter and James Hartman found themselves deeply changed by their shared experiences. From the first moment James walked into her clinic, she had sensed the weight of his struggles, but it wasn't until he expressed his vulnerability that she truly understood the complexities of his battle. For me, this experience was more than just about medicine, Dr. Carter shared one afternoon over coffee, her eyes softening as she recounted their initial meetings. It became a reminder of why I chose this career in the first place. Each patient has a story, and when those stories intersect, they can create moments of profound healing. Helping James wasn't just about treating an illness, it was about building a relationship founded on trust. James nodded in agreement, recalling the emotional turmoil he had felt before seeking help. I didn't realize how much I needed someone to understand my pain, he admitted. Dr. Carter didn't just see me as a patient, she treated me like a person with a history, with sacrifices that mattered. It made all the difference. The bond they forged was not merely professional but transformed into a friendship that blossomed through shared understanding and respect. As they discussed their personal reflections, themes of sacrifice emerged, how both had faced challenges in their respective journeys. For James, the sacrifice extended beyond his time in service. It included acknowledging his vulnerability and the importance of seeking help, something he had always seen as a sign of weakness in a culture that often glorifies stoicism. I think we both learned that healing is not just a physical process, James continued thoughtfully. It's also about embracing connections, whether with family, friends, or even healthcare providers. Those relationships are what truly sustain us. Dr. Carter considered his words, feeling inspired by his growth. You've reminded me that every day is an opportunity to foster those connections, she said, a smile spreading across her face. Whether it's through the care I offer in my practice or the friendships I cultivate in my life, those bonds are what make this work so fulfilling. Through their discussions, it became clear that neither would have experienced such profound growth without the other's presence in their lives. Their unexpected friendship encapsulated not just their individual journeys but also the greater tapestry of community and compassion woven between those who had served and those who cared for them. In sharing their insights, both Dr. Carter and James highlighted the inherent strength found in vulnerability and the healing power of empathy, a lesson that echoed far beyond their personal stories, resonating within the hearts of many who had walked similar paths. As they moved forward, each remained committed to honoring that connection while inspiring others along the way, proving that sometimes the most unexpected friendships arise from life's greatest challenges. In the end, the story of James Hartman and Dr. Emily Carter transcends the individual experiences of a veteran and his physician. It reflects a broader message of hope and gratitude that resonates deeply within their community and beyond. Their journey illustrates how one act of kindness, an attentive ear, a compassionate heart, or a life-saving intervention can ripple outward, profoundly impacting lives in ways that may not be immediately apparent. James's transformation from a struggling veteran to a man filled with appreciation and purpose demonstrates the healing power of vulnerability and connection. He sought help when he needed it most, illustrating that asking for support is not a sign of weakness but rather an act of courage that fosters resilience. His willingness to acknowledge his struggles allowed him to forge a bond with Dr. Carter, one rooted not only in trust but also in mutual respect and empathy. Dr. Carter's commitment to her patients extends beyond the boundaries of her clinic. Inspired by her grandfather's service, she epitomizes the dedication that many healthcare providers hold in their hearts, an unwavering passion for making a difference in the lives of those they serve. Her willingness to invest time and care into each patient creates an environment where healing becomes possible, emphasizing that genuine connections are at the core of medical practice. The luxury cars gifted to Dr. Carter serve as a powerful symbol of gratitude, but they signify much more than material wealth. They represent the acknowledgement of sacrifice and service on both sides. The heartfelt gesture encapsulates the essence of camaraderie within the veteran community, a reminder that they are not alone in their journeys.